this white woman went ahead and she made this video talking about things she does not receive based off of her skin color, right? So then she said diversity scholarships, an entire month in reference to Black History Month, and finally movie selections, right? So it's funny because, well, first of all, white women are the biggest recipients of affirmative action, okay? Now, whenever anybody wants to complain about it, they pretend that Black people are the ones getting all these scholarships and stuff, even though we're unqualified, when really it's white women getting all of this stuff, right? Then the other funny thing is the fact that a study in 2014 showed that something like 75% of movie characters were white. So she's complaining because now Netflix has, the little header, oh, yeah, Black leads, right? With the 3 Black movies they have on their platform, when everything else has a bunch of white characters. And this goes back to a point that I've made 100 times. White people feel like equality is oppression. So the minute that somebody says, okay, maybe every single thing in the world should not be about you, they're taken aback because they're used to being the center of attention. You telling me, like let's get back to school. Let's think about when we were growing up, right? And I believe in high school in 9th grade, I think we took U.S. history. Then in 10th grade, we took like civics and economics. Then 11th grade, we took world history. And finally 12th grade, I forget what we took, right? Okay, my point is this though. You realize in these classes, whiteness is the default. Like in U.S. history, they don't delve into transatlantic slavery and Jim Crow and all of this other stuff. No, U.S. history is U.S. history from white people's perspective. Then if you want to learn about the things that were happening to Black people at the time, then you got to wait till Black History Month or take a, African American history class or something like that, something specific, okay? So she's upset because every single course, everywhere, has white people as the default, to the point where Black people were like, okay, yeah, we could at least dedicate some time to learn about, us in this country, right? And she views that as an injustice to her, that everybody talks about her all the motherfucking time, but then this 1 month out of the year, folks are like, okay, let's talk about Black people a little bit. Like, this is the crazy part, bro. I went to school in Detroit, Michigan with all Black people. And even during Black History Month, we didn't really go into nothing for real, right? During Black History Month, all we did every single year was watch that movie, Our Friend Martin, and watch that old Follow the Drinking Gourd movie. That's literally all we did for Black History Month. Then we learned about Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. Every single year, that's all we did. So even during Black History Month, we were not really learning about ourselves, even in the city of Detroit that is majority Black, right? So I cannot imagine how bad it must be in those schools where they're not majority Black, so nobody really cares to even teach anything at all. Like years ago, I worked at this school briefly, right? And they didn't have nothing up for Black History Month. Like it was basically like it didn't exist, right? So I started being passive aggressive. I would write on the board every day a quote, like some Black History Month quote, right? Finally, after about 10 days, they hung up some posters and all this other stuff, Black history, so and so and so, yada, yada, yada. But imagine if I hadn't been there to start that. Imagine the Black kids who went to that school. They would have just went all year without learning anything about themselves at all. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that y'all be on the same planet I'm on and in the same reality that I'm in, and you manage to interpret it so very differently. It's crazy to me because you got the same Netflix subscription that I got. So you open up Netflix and you scroll past 1,000 videos with only white people in them to get down to the 3 videos with Black people under that little, Black leads or Black romance heading or whatever, and get mad at that. You scroll past 1,000 videos about y'all and you like, yeah, all is good there. To get mad at the 2 or 3 videos about Black people. That's why I keep saying to y'all, I swear, what the issue here is that these people are so used to being put on a pedestal that any inclination that, their pedestal might get a little bit smaller or maybe we might get a little equality. Any inclination of that is a direct and very, very aggressive threat to them. Because, look, I say this all the time. White people like white supremacy. I mean, look, like, who wouldn't like being at the top of society, right? So, I mean, they're cool with this, right? So, anytime anybody says, hey, maybe we should, offer a little bit of equality to whoever, they are like up in arms about that. It's peculiar how it's like no matter what white people get, there's this consensus that they deserve it, right? So even though white women are the biggest recipients of affirmative action, nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever, complains about that or anything. Instead, you got white women, the ones getting all the handouts, complaining about diversity scholarships that they getting, because in their minds, when they get something like that, it's deserved. But when black people get something like that, it's like, hold up, you don't deserve that, right? Because again, there's this mentality of no matter what, no matter how hard a black person works, no matter how smart a black person is, they don't deserve shit. Because I tell you, this mentality goes back to slavery. These people have been conditioned to see us with nothing and see themselves with everything. They're conditioned to see us doing all the work and them getting all the reward, right? So when they get handouts, it's like, oh, cool, yeah, that's the natural order of things. They're supposed to sit on their asses and get shit. But when black people get a little bit of something, they're like, hold up, wait a second, you're not supposed to have shit, nigga. So what's going on with this? And you know what? I say white people, but a lot of times I'm not even just talking about white people. Let me be clear. This also applies to non-black people, period. Because I've gotten into a lot of interactions with non-black people and they've played in my face. Like I tell you, it was graduate school, right? And we had just taken this exam, right? And after the I think it was a biochemistry exam, my cohort was talking about it. So for those of y'all, who haven't been to graduate school, your cohort is the group of people who start your program at the same time as you. So y'all take like all of the same classes. You end up, you end up getting to see a lot of each other because you get in the same degree and you started at the same time. So y'all gonna be in a lot of the same classes, right? So my cohort was discussing this biochemistry exam after we took it, right? So there was this Asian boy. He was like from China, right? And we were discussing one particular question. And he was like, oh, I put so-and-so for that. And I was like, oh, no, that's not right because it's not, right? So I was like, nah, I put blah, blah, blah. He was like, no, that's not the answer, right? Now, this is the thing. I have social skills. So even if I know I'm right, I'm not going to like shoot nobody down real bad, right? So when he said, oh, I put answer choice A, I was like, I put answer choice like B or whatever, right? So I didn't shoot him down the way that he immediately shot me down. He was like, oh, no, that B is not right. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's it. Mind you, my undergraduate major was in biochemistry and molecular biology, right? So you would think I would know something about biochemistry, but I guess not because I'm a black before a biochemist, right? So he is like really adamant, like, oh, no, it's not that, so, right? And it was to the point where I started to question myself. I'm like, maybe it's not that, because he was very confident with it. I'm not going to hold you, right? And you know what pissed me off? Because there was this Chinese girl also in my program. And I think this was at the same time. We were talking about this problem. And like, I don't know what I said about this guy to her. I don't know. But she was like, oh, yeah, he studied biochemistry like in China. Like, okay, so basically his biochemistry takes precedence over my biochemistry because he's a Chinese biochemist. I'm a black biochemist. That's different, okay? Then it turns out, bitch, I was right. So like, huh? And then I'm confused because nobody was ever like, oh, wow, Flower Tower, you were right. Wow. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like no matter what, no matter how hard you work, no matter how smart you are, even when you're proven to be right, people are still going to be like, oh, well, that was just a lucky guess. Because, again, black people don't deserve shit in their eyes. Anyway, let's get back to the woman who made this post, right? Because she also said, oh, yeah, I've never gotten a month because of my skin color. Have y'all ever noticed that March is Women's History Month and 99% of the posts be about white women? So even though I'm just as much of a woman as you, I don't get all this sunshine and, like spotlight during Women's History Month. Because again, whiteness is always the default. Whether it's diversity scholarships, Women's History Month, whatever, folks are going to find a way to make sure that white people are the ones benefiting from it time and time and time again. And then white people have the audacity to sit here and be offended when somebody says, okay, like, maybe we should, like, not hog all the resources. Let, like, 1 or 2 qualified blacks get a little something. They got the nerve to act like they're just so taken aback because, again, they have this mentality that they deserve everything and we deserve nothing. Pay attention to what these people say and how it is they talk. Because something I had to learn as an adult is that white people and black people don't talk the same way. Like I said, I'm from Detroit. I grew up with all black people. Black people are they're more upfront with what it is they're thinking and what it is they're saying, right? But white people, they have a way of being like passive aggressive, beating around the bush, always using some little euphemism. Very rarely do they actually come right out and say what it is they're trying to say, right? So when you see a white person talking about, oh my God, well, Netflix has 10,000 movies about white people, but I'm just so oppressed by the fact that there's 3 black ones. Like, I never got anything for my skin color. When you see one of them say that, what they're actually saying is you don't even deserve a crumb, nigga.